All right, moving on to Karnataka now, where residents of a hill town in the state's Chikamagalur district went on a one-day self-imposed bandh. This to highlight and stress the Sringeri town's 14 years long demand of a 100-bed hospital. The authorities have failed to listen to the town's demand so far. The bandh call was followed by the local transport associations as well. BJP spokesperson S. Prakash said that the government must take note of the demand and that he is sure that the elected representatives will respond to this. However, the Congress has alleged that the bandh has been organized by the local BJP MLA to drive up anger against the local Congress MLA and mislead Sringeri residents.
Citizens of the Sringeri town have called for the bandh, demanding 100-bed hospital there. It is a very genuine demand. I am sure the elected representatives will respond to their sensitive demand and implement it. The state government should also take serious note of it, since we are undergoing a pandemic time. Building hospitals in such prominent town will go in a long way.
For the last 3 terms, Mr. Jivraj, who was the local MLA, has done absolutely nothing on that count, and he is now organizing a bandh to ensure that there should be a super speciality hospital. Unfortunately, I don't think Mr. Jivraj realizes that it's a BJP government in the state, it's a BJP government in the centre, and they don't listen to Mr. Rajegowda, who's a Congress MLA. So I think this whole bandh concept is something which is absolutely being misused in terms of Sringeri, and the people have been put to a lot of inconvenience. And I hope the people of Sringeri realize that the BJP party is trying to mislead them.
All right, for more on this, I'm joined by my colleague Neha on the broadcast. Good morning, Neha. Thank you for joining us. Very often we've seen politicians call for a bandh for their agenda, but this is quite rare for people to call for a bandh, and this too for a hospital. Before we get into the politics of it, could you share the struggles of people, what compelled them to call for a bandh?
Well, actually, for long now, in fact, the people of Sringeri, the temple town, a population of almost about 30 to 40,000, for long now, they've really been struggling without a super specialty hospital over there in their town. Every time, there is for some sort of major emergency, medical emergency that happens, they have to, in fact, rush outside of the town, and many a time it becomes too late. So we've seen in the past, in fact, several instances where people have had a medical emergency, they've had to rush outside of the town, to get to a multi-specialty hospital, but it's already too late by then, and the people have actually succumbed. So for at least about quite a few years now, the people have been demanding that they be given a multi-specialty hospital over there. Let's remind you that Sringeri is a temple town. There are several visitors also, on every year that we see, tourists also who actually visit the place, which is why now the residents have actually come together. They've in fact, said that they would hold a bandh. Yesterday we saw bandh being held as well, and now Archana, in fact, the politics of this has begun.
All right, thank you, Neha, for getting us those updates and bringing us up to speed with this bandh that's been called by people demanding a multi-speciality hospital.